now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
And now for a taste of things to come.
What's going on, everybody? And thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, thanking you for coming back and joining me here in the newly remodeled theater. Now, for today's film, we're going to take a look at a black comedy drama film directed by Lynn Ramsey, with a screenplay written by Ramsey, along with Edna Walsh and Alice Birch, which is based off the 2012 novel by Ariana Harwicks entitled Die, My Love. Today's film is also called Die, My Love, and it stars Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson, Nick Nolte, Sissy Spacek, and Lakeith Stanfield. Now, as our movie opens, we discover that Jackson's uncle has passed away and left his old Montana home to Jackson, who's played by Robert Pattinson. Jackson moves from New York to Montana with his girlfriend Grace, played by Jennifer Lawrence. Soon after the couple moves in, Grace becomes pregnant and ends up giving birth to a baby boy, whom the couple chooses not to name. While initially happy and playful in their rural abode, Grace and Jackson begin to have problems not long after the baby's birth. Jackson is away at work for long periods of time while Grace feels stuck at home. Her feelings of boredom, loneliness, and abandonment begin to worsen when she realizes that Jackson is sleeping with other women while he's on the road for work. Sexually and emotionally frustrated, she begins to masturbate at home and in the woods surrounding her house. It is revealed to us that in the months leading up to the baby's birth, Jackson's father, Harry, played by Nick Nolte, passed away. Grace decides to visit Jackson's mother, Pam, played by Sissy Spacek, who is now a widow seeking company and support. Pam and Grace conversate over iced tea about the challenges that Pam has now faced navigating the world without Harry. But when the conversation turns towards Grace's mood swings and trouble coping with her current circumstances, Grace up and leaves. Jackson brings home a dog without checking in with Grace, but she does not welcome this new addition, especially as the dog constantly barks and cannot be calmed down. One night after the dog is injured in a car accident, she demands that Jackson shoot it, claiming that, quote, "Something you love is suffering. Put it out of its misery." When Jackson refuses to shoot the dog and says that he will take it to the vet the next day, Grace shoots the dog herself. As time goes on, Grace's behavior becomes increasingly erratic. She walks around with knives, begins an affair with a stranger, played by Lakeith Stanfield, who constantly drives by the house on a motorcycle, and even throws herself through a glass door one day when she's particularly upset. In the midst of all this, Grace and Jackson fight constantly, leading Grace to spin out of control and react more intensely. Despite their constant fighting, one day Jackson asks Grace to marry him when the two are playing in the grass the way they used to. The wedding and the reception start off well enough, but by the end of the night, Jackson rebuffs Grace when she continues to ask him repeatedly to kiss her, and he leaves her to dance on her own. Eventually, Grace heads back to the bridal suite by herself. While waiting for Jackson, Grace asks the receptionist, played by Philip Forrest Lewitzky, to bring her a bucket of ice for the bottle of champagne. And when the receptionist refuses, it is implied that she asks him to come and sing for her in her room. She begins to dance to the music that he plays and suddenly bashes her head into a mirror, drawing blood. She returns home on foot with the baby in a stroller, and along the way, she is spotted by Jackson, who silently admonishes her and guides mother and child into the car. Jackson then commits Grace into a psychiatric institution. Here, a psychiatrist, played by Tom Carey, talks to Grace about her relationship with her parents and the struggles that she has had ever since due to abandonment issues that stem from their death when she was only a child. When Grace is released, on the surface, she seems to be doing better, but her world has changed a lot around her during her brief time in the hospital. Jackson has bought a new car, cleaned, remodeled, and repainted the house in her absence, and has now named their previously unnamed son, Harry, after Jackson's late father. When the family proceeds to host a welcome back party for Grace, she snaps after hearing how healthy and well she looks, and she tries to leave. Jackson takes Grace on a drive during which she expresses that she doesn't want to go back home and that Jackson doesn't see her. When they reach a stopping point, they sit in silence for some time before Grace kisses Jackson and says, "Enough," walking into the nearby forest. Jackson proceeds to smoke a cigarette pensively while Grace sets fire to the journal that she kept while she was in the psychiatric ward. Grace leaves the journal to burn while she removes her dress. Jackson finally realizes that something is wrong and runs into the forest to try to save Grace just in time to see her walking into the rapidly spreading fire as our movie comes to its close. Now, if I'm being honest with you all, the only reason I went to see this film is because the cast looked phenomenal. Sissy Spacek, Nick Nolte, Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson, all-star cast to say the very least. Now, admittedly, I've never been a fan of Robert Pattinson. We all know he rose to fame in the Twilight Saga, and I only saw 2 of those films. I didn't care for either one of them. Jennifer Lawrence is gorgeous, but she always seems to have resting bitch face, regardless of what role she's portraying. And this film is no exception. Nick Nolte and Sissy Spacek were the hands down standouts in the film for me, despite how small their roles were in comparison to that of Pattinson and Lawrence. Every time their characters graced the screen, they shined. There were a few moments of exposition where honestly I was bored, and my eyes even closed a couple of times in the theater. I didn't fall asleep. I was alert. I was able to hear the dialogue and everything, but I was just bored in a couple of spots. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm glad I saw this on bargain day and only paid $5.50 to see it. Otherwise, I'd probably be far more critical. When it comes to my rating, I give Die My Love 3 out of 5 stars. Now, tell me, what do you guys think of Die My Love? Have you seen it? Do you want to see it? Did you even know about it? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let us have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that engagement, that interaction that I'm always trying to get out of you, my fans. Make sure you thumbs up the video and post some form of comment, as that helps boost my videos in the algorithm. And that'll allow these videos to be recommended to other movie fans out there who may not be knowledgeable of Renegades Reviews. And until next time, when we return to the theater here for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel. I am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, thanking y'all for coming and joining me here in the theater.